Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are into game two here. Sorry about the delay. We just had players taking a quick bathroom break, and we are now into Pro Draft. Same band so far, same sides.
Yeah, Fire opting for blue side once again. I don't think they opted for it game number one, but they are on blue side for game number two, nonetheless. Very, as you mentioned, similar bands. If we get a Lucian here, then this is a carbon copy of game number one's draft, or
I think
game number one's bands at least.
I think you leave the Lucian up and try to first pick it.
It's definitely an option on blue side. They're not going to take it, but
It's identical bands,
yeah.
and the Volibear should be picked up again.
Definitely had its way in the top lane, right? Like it did what it needed to do, maybe not to the fullest extent because it didn't get any kills versus the Ornn early on, and that's primarily I feel like because of the flash burned from Anderson in the early levels. The kill threat was lost as soon as that flash was burned, and Necro didn't get anything for it. Chubby Baby's white here. They may as well just run back the exact same things if they feel confident with it.
J4 Alistar.
J4 Alistair, I mean, exactly. This is at this point, Chubby Baby's White are just gonna skill check Fire and say, yeah, if you want to run the same comps, you're gonna have to do better than you did in game number one because we're not going to give you. We're confident with our ability. We've just taken this game off of you. We will do it again. So
14 seconds left here. Yeah,
it's on
I
Fire
don't
to
know.
change something, right?
Yeah, I think they want to give the Blitz blind Blitzcrank. That wasn't a mispick, right? I'm looking in chat. It's confirmed.
No, there's no way that was a mispick. They put that in with so much confidence. This is pretty dangerous, though. Blind Blitzcrank is definitely punishable.
Just go Sivir Morgana in response, and Blitzcrank's useless in the bot lane.
You go Sivir Morgana, or you can go Ezreal as well. There are a few
Yeah,
ADCs that counter Blitzcrank. Tristana as well as one of them. Fire, here we go. A little bit of differentiation in the draft here. Going to take the Sejuani over the set that they elected for in game number one.
maybe the Orianna will be picked here. The Thresh for Kiri. Okay, Kiri's definitely known for his Thresh, and it will be locked in here.
And into Blitzcrank as well. The battle of the two OG Hook champions gonna come on out in this bot side of the map. The skill check on support role is real in this second game already here, and Thresh provides I feel like more to the team than a Blitzcrank, but Blitzcrank does one of the things that Thresh does way better, and that's where I feel like the differentiation between the two champions is. Thresh does a little bit of everything with being able to engage and also disengage and carry to take somebody to safety. Blitzcrank just engages on one target incredibly well.
Yeah, and the Shen is locked in as well. Instantly, the Corki and Vayne are taken off the table.
Yeah, so Chubby Babies they're mirroring the bans from game number one, right? They got rid of Corki and they got rid of Cassiopeia, I believe, as well in this ban phase right now. We'll have to see if they opt for that again. Going to be the Syndra taken away from Cadasaur, so not going to get his hands on that one, which, as we mentioned, does now leave open this Cassiopeia. We'll have to see. With the Blitzcrank lock-in, Cassio is a little bit dangerous. So it could be sort of a bait. We'll leave the Cassio open, but if you want to take it, then good luck.
Yeah. I wonder what the last ban will be. I'm expecting another ADC. Oh, they banned the Casio. Interesting.
I think also Cassio into double frontline is incredibly strong as well. That Fire have drafted. If Chubby Baby's White picked up the Cassio in the mid lane, that Cassio can shred through Volibear, shred through Sejuani as well quite easily. Ori has a little bit of a more difficult time, but they've got J4 Ori once again, so.
Yeah. And I expect an Ashe pick. Or, like you said, maybe the Ezreal. Sorry. I don't know why that was slipping my mind.
Saving ADC for Red 5. They must have something planned here that they can go for, dependent on this AD pick here from Fire. The Tristana, yes, okay, happy with that. So this is another one of the other Blitzcrank counters, right? You can buffer the rocket jump so that you don't get pulled by the Blitzcrank. There is obviously a few slight counterplays to the Blitzcrank, or for the Blitzcrank. If you fire the ultimate off first, you can silence the Tristana so she's not able to cast rocket jump. Similarly, you can bait out the rocket jump with the rocket grab, or the power fist rather, where you just knock them up. But typically, at least in lane, you don't want to get. You're not going to get into range to pick up the Tristana, and the Samira pick for the AD carry here. Absolutely wonderful champion at the moment. Incredibly strong. Reliable going to take this Samira down into the bot lane, and we saw him in game number 1 on the Vayne. Samira just as high flex, high skill, high variance in the feast or famine department can definitely pop off, but can equally be a bit of a dead weight as well.
Yeah, and we see the Victor also locked in response. Um, I like the comps from both teams. I think Chubby Baby White's comp might be a little bit better.
I mean, okay, so I've just relooked at some of the names here. Chubby Baby's white support, if we recall, is Hook and Fisted. It's
Blitzcrank, right?
he's a Blitzcrank player, and I love it when players pick their take for their namesake, right? Like he
Hmm?
is picked on Blitzcrank and wants to take it all the way. So
Well,
blinding
I
it and then
wonder.
just going huge.
I wonder why you say that.
Souls and chimes.
Souls and chimes. Hmm?
The
But
ADC
yeah,
main, yes.
I also want to mention like Kiri's name is not Thresh or Dark Passage or whatever, but he's known for his Thresh.
Yeah, and that's something else that you can do, right? Is you just have your name associated with a champion, even though it's the two don't necessarily mix, right? Kiri is known for the Thresh, and in this case, obviously, Hook and Fisted going to be known for the Blitzcrank. I want to talk more quickly about this, Samira pickup here, because there's a lot of things that the Samira can use to disengage with the blade well, the W, the AOE wind wall, for example. If the Samira gets slightly caught out positioning wise, sees the Sejuani dash over a wall, fire that glacial prison rather, you just press W, and then the Sejuani engage is completely mitigated. Similarly, with a death sentence as well, you can fire the blade well, get that cancelled, and in 1v1 situations, if the Samira is able to block the E rather from Tristana, that's just the entirety of Tristana's trade pattern pretty much mitigated as well. So there are many things that the Samira W can counter here, and we'll need to see if the usage of it is up to scratch.
But with that being said, Tristana is one of those champions that can just jump straight inside of Samira's W, right? And
She can, but if they're inside and the W is going on, it doesn't matter.
okay, maybe I'm not too familiar with the champion. So inside, it still blocks everything.
Yep, for sure.
Okay,
So
that's
you
gonna be
just
interesting.
and you say that the Tristana can jump on the Samira can just as easily jump on the Tristana. Maybe not just as easily, but has the ability to do so. Obviously, the Samira has to target somebody to get in the range, and Tristana is a free cast, so it's there's ability for Tristana to get away, and less so for Samira, but the Samira can definitely jump on, just press that W, and really reduce all the trade potential from Mori here on the Tristana.
Yes. Trying to think about this mid lane. The Victor Oriana. It's just farm it out, right? Nobody has any significant kill pressure,
No,
barring
I
any
think
ganks.
yeah, I get it, like that would be the point, right? It's going to be jungle ganks that are important here. When you reach level 7 on Victor, your E1 shots the backlines, provided that you've got the upgraded Hex core. Similarly, Ori as well, just going to be farming up the majority of the laning phase as well. Should be fairly uninteractive early on. There is a world where you can get quite a few early trades going your favour as Victor if you put a couple points into that Siphon power, that Q to give you the extra shield. But versus an Ori with the Command Protect, probably again, one of the better champions at dealing with it, because the laser poke can be real on a Victor, but that means that you're using all of your mana to poke out the enemy. And early on, your base damages aren't particularly high as well, so it's typically quite difficult to poke out somebody. There is the ability to do so, but if you're using it on poke, you're not using it on CS. And Victor in particular struggles a little bit with CSing early on.
Yeah. Also, I think it's worth mentioning. Can't Blitzcrank punch Tristana mid jump?
Yeah, Tristan. So it really is all on timing. This is a very skill dependent matchup down here. The Blitzcrank can hook the Tristana out of the jump, can knock her out of it as well. But at the same time, Tristana can do the exact same back to Blitzcrank. So if the Blitzcrank fires the hook, there's a buffer window a couple microseconds after where you can just jump away, and the exact same with the knock up as well. You can mitigate that by rocket jumping away. So it's all on timing and really a game of chicken as to who's going to use which ability first. And there's a bluff game that Hook and Fisted can play where he walks up with that E primed and then just auto cancel on Mori, bait out that jump, and then go again with the auto attack afterwards. So I'll be really interested to see how many times we get this interaction going on, because at the end of this, one of these two guys is going to look a fool and one of them is going to look like a genius, and I'm definitely interested to see which goes which way.
Yeah. It's definitely a support match. But I mean, I think we've touched on a lot of the matchups already, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Shen top lane as well is something that we didn't see in game number one. Should be able to go into the Volibear a little bit easier. Obviously, Shen trades a lot better in the early game than Ornn, but Volibear really does just dominate pretty much every single lane early on. The Sky Splitter again, just exact same as game number one. He does so much damage early and has the shielding as well that you can't particularly trade back. Shen has the similar ability, the passive coming through, the shielding that provides, along with the pass-through damage from the Spirit Blade. If he's able to get that pulling through, Volibear will get a little bit of extra attack speed for his 3 auto attacks, a little bit of extra HP damage as well. So there's a world where Shadow Balls is able to trade more effectively versus the Volibear in the top lane, but I don't expect to see much of a difference in the top side from game number one to game number two.
Okay. And the jungle, I think it's worth to mention that Nick is D-Money's going to be on a comfortable champion in comparison to the set, in my opinion.
Okay, I like that little player insight that you've got here, little CEO insights to the Omega squad. I see that.
Yeah, so hopefully he's able to perform. I think the set last game was a little lackluster. I think that's fair to say. He had opportunities with the flash being burned early by
Reliable.
the Vayne. Yeah,
Yeah.
reliable on the Vayne, but wasn't able to capitalize on anything. But nonetheless, we're gonna cut it to a quick break. We'll be back here shortly while we wait out the spectator delay. So just bear with us, everybody. Hello, everybody. We are loaded onto the Rift for Game 2 of Omega Gaming Fire, taking on Chubby Babies White. And 1-0 in favor of Chubby Babies White right now. So they can close out the series here, secure first seed in their group by winning this game. Omega Gaming Fire needs to win the next two and hope for the other team in their group, I believe it's Predictive Gaming, to lose to qualify for playoffs. So a lot of stuff needs to fall in place, but nonetheless, we are looking at a 5-man invade coming out, spotted out by this ward.
Yeah, very smart ward here from Fire, and Hook and Fisted goes for the blind hook there. Not going to yield any targets, unfortunately. But you know, you like the effort nonetheless. Two Hook champions. I'd be sad if we didn't see at least some invade going on at level 1. And wisely, the white squad walk through and try and clear out their bot jungle together, just in case. Obviously, Kiri and the rest of Fire had invaded through on the top side. Good to note, though, the advantage is definitely, at least in the early game, in favour of Fire, just because of this ward here. They have the vision advantage more so than anything, so Demonic's pathing should be somewhat unknown, whereas Anderson Cooper is going to have his start route, at least, planned out from Fire.
Yeah, so both junglers are starting from the red.
Look at Tribrush right now. Hook and Fisted waiting on the right-hand side. They've got Fire have a ward in this brush, so they might not expect it. Oh, there's fights everywhere. Oh no.
Hook does land onto Kiri, and Kiri's going to have to use his flay, swap it out, because Aftershock keeps him alive, but on the top side of the map, just a wand trade from Necro here.
Okay, that went a lot. Well, it didn't go as badly as I was expecting it to do. Obviously, Samira at level 1 doesn't have the same potential as Samira at level 6. But, you know, the flay used, the Aftershock burned, means that he's able to keep his HP quite healthy. Doesn't lose too much here. Pops a potion, is fine. Catsword trading back in the mid lane, and there you go. That's the power of the Q from Victor right there. The Ori really wasn't able to trade into him because of the shield, and definitely a one trade there in the mid lane for Catsword. But you know, both have still got both of their potions. And these lasers with the Scorch actually doing quite a nice amount of work at just chunking out. Importantly as well, down on that bot side, the hook actually meant that Mori and Kiri missed experience on the first wave, so they're down a little bit in that. I saw, you know, 9 minions go down, and unfortunately they weren't level 2, so XP advantage at least in the bot lane, if nothing else.
Necro needs to be careful. There's no minions. He gets taunted under the tower here, tanking 1 shot, 2 shots. That's going to be a solo kill in the top lane for Shadow Balls.
That's just a lack of respect for that Shen there, unfortunately. Mid lane, they do burn the flash. Demonic gets the flash of the Orianna, so that's a immobile mid lane target. But, you know, that top lane, the Shen already proving more valuable than the Ornn. That taunt doing a lot of work trying to keep him locked up under the turret. And Anderson Cooper, with the failed smite, Demonic actually going to be able to just hit that with the auto attack and walk away. The Arctic Assault gets him to safety, and he's still got his full bot side and Wolves to clear, so... Oh.
Yeah, Hook does land. Mori might have the flash here. Flay is used, and we see that W coming out from Reliable. Flash coming out from Mori, but the minion blocks the hook coming out from Kiri there.
And I wonder, did Mori not level W level 2, or if he's just gone for Q and E? Because in a Blitzcrank lane, you definitely want that W, and that was a perfect example of why. Now burned his flash for all but no reason.
Some would argue that you don't even want to level E, level 1 in this lane. You just want it to shove. You just want to last hit.
Exactly. That's a a trait of Tristano. If you level that E, that you naturally push waves. And versus Blitzcrank, if you're under your own turret, you're a lot safer than being underneath theirs. Necro going hammer the top.
Yeah, almost gets taunted under tower again.
Yeah, good little step back though. Keeps himself safe.
Yeah. Flay used by Kiri. Hook is used, and we're seeing the auto attacks coming out. Hook and Fisted pulls Mori in, but there's that buffer. Flash Ignite comes out. Kiri needs to be careful. Exhaust is using the bot lane. Reliable is also going low, but there's that W you're talking about to block that E damage.
Yeah, so a lot of summoners burned down on the bot side of the map. Kiri and Mori both without any of theirs now, whereas Reliable and Hook and Fisted both still have their flash available. Utility summoners down though, so the kill threat slightly diminished. But a good gank really on the bot side, and that was that rocket jump buffer that I talked about.
And Flash comes out, and solo kill from Necro in the top lane.
Trades it right.
Didn't see that coming. Reliable's going to dash out of that.
You know, and what's crazy as well is that dash, by the way, gives Samira attack speed as well. So if the Samira dashes into the Tristana, all in one ability has the same effectiveness as Tristana's W and Q. So this
So
matchup at
now
least is probably more favorable to Samira as we get later and later.
any hook that comes out from Hook and Fist that lands uh, can result in a kill.
It can, and at this point, I think they try and focus Kiri down. To be honest, if they Blade Whirl the E from Tristana, the Buster Shot. No, that's yeah. I don't know what the E's called, man. The E from Tristana. If they manage to buffer that with the Blade Whirl, then they win the trade handily. Even if they hook Kiri and focus him down. Oh, Shen ult.
Shen ults into the bot lane. Kiri has to fly. Hook is available. Flash taunt misses, but Hook does not, and that's going to be Kiri dead to rights there. Invested a lot for that kill, but they should go for the dragon here.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if there was a miscommunication between the guys right there. Looked like Shadow Balls was predicting the flash from Kiri, which the bot lane will have known was not available to him. But I mean, either way, the teleport and the expenditure results in a kill overall. So I mean, they commit all the resources. It doesn't matter how it went. The kill is picked up, and they are going to punish Kiri for the lack of flash. They're also going to pick up that first Ocean Dragon as well, meaning that we are going to be seeing a potential for a Cloud Soul or Mountain once again, with that Infernal picked up on the wall.
Yeah. And Kiri needs to be careful. They have a vision on him. Hook is available, and the hook comes out from the Blitzcrank. Kiri's
No
dead.
flash. Yeah, he's just
No
going to get
flash,
shot
no
down.
help. He's just gonna... did they ignite him?
They did.
Interesting choice to use the ignite, but...
Hey, the kill is the kill. At the end of the day, that ignite could be used later on in the laning phase to maybe kill Mori or kill Kiri again in a less dangerous position. But hey, that's 2 kills onto Kiri now, and Thresh...
Taunt is used by Shadow Balls on the top lane here. D-Money and Catasoul are here. And yeah, D-Money takes that kill, but that was pretty much a solo kill.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you can call 2 assists all you want, but the majority of that damage was Necro. And again, it's just this Volibear early game trading power that he's got. Nice little pick up for Fire on the top side, making the plays happen, recognizing that the Shen, you know, with no flash, no teleport, no stance united, no real mobility around the map, is in a vulnerable position, and with Necro constantly trading back and forth means that the Shen's at low enough HP for the guys, Demonic, Catasoul, roam on up, get themselves essentially a freebie. That's really going to set the Shen quite far behind. Already teleported bot lane for nothing, or for 1 kill. Means that he missed a lot of experience when he did that. And now dies, misses another wave under his turret. Gonna feel pretty bad just in this isolated 1v1. Rest of the map going well though.
Yeah, a lot closer than the first game, right?
For sure. I mean, at this point, the Vayne had just got themselves a triple. Oh, had just got a triple kill. Samira is quite far ahead in CS, but you know, isn't snowballing beyond repair just yet.
Yeah, but this Blitzcrank has actually been a good pick so far.
Oh.
We've seen Engage here, a missed ultimate from Demonic here. Beautiful 2-man shockwave, keeping Barack Obama alive here. He has to flash over the wall. Flash coming out from Catasoul, but he does get flagged and dragged on by Anderson Cooper. And he's going to Cataclysm is used, and Catasoul will be going down, picked up by Shadow Balls. Too much aggression coming out there.
Yeah, double flash over to try and kill Barack Obama. The second portion of Siphon Power wasn't able to be cast. The empowered auto attack wasn't there. The flag and drag combo actually knocking up Catasoul just in time for the denial to come through. Means that Barack Obama slithers away with just a little bit of HP. Oh. Okay, Mori, you are very low there, my friend. Good hook from Hook and Fisted, using the ulti Q combo. Pretty much as you should do as a Blitzcrank versus the Tristana. But yeah, Mori now really low, really chunked. Reliable, gonna Blade Whirl that death sentence, so no re-engage is allowed. And we've got Hook and Fisted. He's really trying for a play right now. Kiri, you know, sat underneath the turret. Mori as well. They're just pushing non-stop to try and force something out. Demonic is sat nearby, but Taunt goes in on the top
Taunt
side.
again, yeah, and Necro again disrespecting that Taunt under tower. And takes almost 3/4 of his health bar from that tower.
And it's essentially for nothing as well, right? Like, yes, he trades a little bit back, but that's the second time that he's been caught out, almost the third as well, so a little bit of disrespect paid, and yes, he wants to snowball his advantage because game number 1 he didn't get any kills, and you know the game just sort of fizzled into a point of him being irrelevant. But you know, you have to be careful with how you're pushing your advantages. There is a difference between confidence and cockiness, right? And going under turret versus a Shen, you're definitely breaching that line.
Yeah. And we see the CS lead in the top lane and the bot lane pretty much mirrored.
Yeah,
30 CS
advantage...
lane. Ooh, that W just blocking that sentence.
You can never engage versus a Samira when the cooldown is available. So the Blade Whale is on about a 20-22 second cooldown at level 1 at least, and you max it last. So up until that level 14 marker, it's going to be at about that cooldown. But you like I say, you're never going to put points into it. Thresh should be putting points into Q, meaning that there's an overlap in the timers. There's going to be a point where the hook is up and the Blade Whale is not. It's the same thing as, you know, if you think about J4 ulti versus and a flash versus a mobile mid lane. It's the same thing, just on a smaller scale here. So you know, if you keep looking for hooks, then you're fine. But the simple thing with Samira is it's on obviously a much shorter cooldown than something like the flash. So when it's not up, you can just play a little bit safer and respect the fact that you don't have the disengage opportunity of that Blade Whale. Drake now has spawned, though, the Infernal Dragon, second one of the match available, and whilst Chubby Baby's Whites have a 2k gold lead, the bot side advantage, rather, it's probably going to be quite a little bit more than that. Actually, never mind. I'm looking at it, and it's. I was expecting a gold lead in the top side for Necro, but there's not one there. So 2k across the map. Mori and Kiri probably just going to have to give this one Demonic as well. Going to sit idly by as the Drake just gets taken out, and that's another objective picked up for the Chubby Babies here.
Yeah, Dragon being picked up, and there's some trading in the top lane here. Flash hook onto Kiri after using the rocket jump, onto Mori, excuse me, and then he's dead to rights there.
Yeah, gets him mid animation right there. Didn't hold onto the jump to get hit by the hook, didn't use the buffer the way he's intended. You know, these mind games coming through again and again. Hook and Fisted is able to pick up the Tristana for the first time this game, but with no flash used, no exhaust used either. Mori now really far behind here, 40 CS down, and it looks like the Samira is going to take a few plates as well down here. The gold lead going to keep surpassing what we're seeing in the rest of the game.
Yeah, Dragon is coming up. No, Dragon is not coming up here. Excuse me. Why did I see Dragon was coming up?
Herald, maybe.
Herald. Yeah, Herald is coming up.
Okay,
but yeah, Hook and Fish is just going around with the Samira, and they're going to instantly kill Demonic here. Maybe looking for a dive.
Yeah, they haven't pushed the wave in yet, but they can hold this one and wait for the minions on the in lane to do the dirty work if they want to do so. Anderson Cooper going to do that. Reliable going to walk in, use that melee Q to clear the wave really quickly. Kiri and Mori need to make a play quickly before Reliable gets there.
Yeah,
TP
double TP
well.
is available. Double TP is available for the side of fire, and they are using it. Kataso's going to go forward and go, and Necro's here, and he has Stormbringer available. Is he going to be using it? The Cataclysm keeps them in top. 3-man taunt used by Shadow Balls here over the top in the Cataclysm. Necro is disengaging with his team. Morrison has a jump, and he gets hooked in, and he goes down. But Catasoul is still alive. Hook is used, and Samira goes in with the ultimate. Reliable is still alive here, and there's 2 members left, but here comes Demonic. Beautiful ultimate over the top to slow Reliable. Flash Taunt comes out. It does not land. Flash from Necro to stay alive. Silence was used. Hook and Fish hooks Catasoul over, but I think it's going to be to his death. And that's looking like a one team fight for the side of Omega Gaming Fire.
Yeah, and just about right there. Barack Obama doesn't have the shockwave, but still has a lot of damage on this Orianna. Well farmed, and they're just going to trade the vision in the Tri-Brush right there. Barack Obama still searching, could find one.
Just be careful, he could go down.
Walks over a control ward, and Barack Obama just going to turn back around. Skysplitter going to give him a shield.
No, that wasn't Ghost, sorry. That was just a Cloud Soul map.
It's so close here, but, you know, 4 kills go the way of Fire, and just the 1, I believe, traded back in the extended trade. But Anderson Cooper going in, has the distance move speed, doesn't have Cataclysm, nor the flag, nor the drag combination. After all of that, though, as I mentioned, kills going in favor of Fire. They do burn a lot of their teleports, and Shadow Balls teleports up to the top lane to get himself a top lane tier 1 turret. That's going to be a lot of gold funneled into him, as it's the first turret of the game right there. No plates, but still a decent chunk of gold back in the Shen's pocket, and when you're 30 CS down, you definitely help that.
Yeah. And this bot lane is kind of clawing back a little bit, but Mori's still a little bit too far behind to have too big of an impact. Kaidoso did pick up 2 kills there. He does he have that perfect hex score? Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So he's he's on his way into doing some serious damage in these team fights.
He is, and with the, you know, we've seen really good Chaos Storm placement so far in this game. But we can look at the minute, the level lead is there for Barack Obama, as is the CS lead. So, you know, in the mid lane, despite the fact that we saw that one gank where they almost got the kill, ultimately fell to the 2v3 retrade from Chubby Babies. But the Ori is quite far ahead of or is a little bit further ahead of this Victor than Fire would like.
Hook does come out, and Kieran needs to be careful. He's taking a lot of damage, and this is going to be a dive coming out from Anderson Cooper, and the bot lane of Omega Gaming Fire really can't do anything to that. The hook blocked by Smear's W there, and just
yeah, I mean the power of Samira really coming through here. Has the fully finished Essence Reaver right now, and Hook and Fisted really, you know, proving why he chose that name, is able to dominate this bot side of the map essentially time and time again, finding the hooks both on Kiri and on Mori. So, you know, not discriminating against the bot laners. He'll take supports, he'll take AD carries, doesn't matter to him. Tier 2 boots finished fairly early on for both of the bot laners, but they're not enough to dodge away from these seemingly heat-seeking rocket grabs.
Hook does land onto Hook and Fisted, but not going to go in on that. This tower should also drop here pretty soon, sitting on just about 6 health? Something like that.
Not very much HP. You know,
one auto attack.
Quick walk on in should be enough, but the Herald was picked up by Demonic in the exchange's bot lane, and they're just going to look for a fight here. Fire in a difficult spot.
Engage coming out from Anderson Cooper, stun instantly. Lantern was already used by Kiri here, and they're just going to disengage.
Yeah, the 5v5, not something that Fire wanted to take. The Cloud Dragon now spawned, and 18 minutes into their game, it looks like Chubby Babies White have inside track on the Drake. They also are going to try and put themselves toward Cloudsoul. Anderson Cooper's already started it up. Look, fighting for mid contest, but the priority doesn't really matter when the Drake's already getting taken. Oh. Engage comes through.
Engage comes through, and
disengage just as easily.
Yeah, disengage instantly.
Looks like the Drake gonna get taken.
The Drake will be taken over.
I mean, they burn the flash from the Orianna, right? That's a cooldown that they'll be happy to get rid of, but something that Fire have pretty much throughout the series not been good at punishing is those flash cooldowns, unfortunately for them. The Ori has been pretty safe throughout this entire game and throughout the series as well. You know, might not have the flash available, but it's going to be on Demonic once again to try and make something happen with that flashless Orianna. Can they find the access into the backline and make the Ori scared for her life, or is she just going to be free to shockwave wherever she pleases again?
Yeah.
I mean, and you can see as well, look, Jarvan's gone for a very different build to what we saw in game number 1, right? Game 1 was very focused on hyper carrying the Vayne, had the Locket, had the Knight's Vow as well. This game, just going for a Black Cleaver, like there's a very different style of play right there that the... Oh, Mori-san.
Ooh, almost predicted by Hook and Fisted there.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was predicting the rocket jump, but Mori didn't want to use it just to get pulled out of it, so he uses the flash instead. And now, flashless Tristana, yes, probably one of the better champions to not have your flash on, but you still want that as an AD carry in case you need to dodge a skill shot quickly. The rocket jump has a big buffer wind-up time, so isn't always the best thing to be trying to get away from. And Necro and Shadow Balls here just fighting down on the bot side.
Yeah, and like last game, Shadow Balls is not going to start to win this. On the Orin, he did start to win it because of the ornaments and the leveling on Orin's W with the max health. But here, Necro will win this
Oh.
convincingly. Flash, Cataclysm, and Shockwave used, but Necro responds. He's going to be able to walk this one out with a Dark Passage, but top side of the map is getting completely cut wide open.
Yeah, really good use of the Stormbringer right there. Mitigated not just the Ori ulti, but also jumped out of the Jarvan ult as well. So burned the Jarvan flash right there. Did use his own flash to get away after the fact and could still be caught. Looks like Barack Obama and Cooper are just going to walk it out. But this is still very tense here. Fire, 6,000 gold behind here, breaking, looking like they're probably going to get 2-0'd at this stage. And they have the opportunity to come back. They do have more scaling options with that Tristana, with the Victor as well, but he could just get caught. Catsall going to get the Lantern, should be fine. Unconfisted actually on a really deep off angle. He's actually fairly isolated if Fire choose to go on it, but look like they're not willing to commit to it. Jarvan Ori not too far away, and Samira as well, just next door. And now baiting the Baron.
Camp.
Yeah, the Fnatic Death Brush.
That was the next words.
And with that Scryer's Orb going down,
Baron started.
yeah, now have no way to check the Baron, and they have to walk on in. They've got Barack Obama zoning away, but I don't think they have the damage to do it so convincingly.
Shockwave lands with the Cataclysm. Cataclysm has to flash away.
Stand United.
Stand United is used onto Reliable there. They might be able to pick up a kill into Shadow Ball Cherry. Flash Taunt coming out. He does so much damage with that Titanic Hydra. He takes down Cataclysm. Morrison needs to be careful. Cataclysm is used. The Sejuani ultimate goes wide. Necro's nowhere to be found, and it's going to be a one team fight in favor of Chubby Baby's White. Flash E coming out from Reliable. And Samira's just hit that point where she can do whatever she wants.
Yeah, and nearly 2 items has Conqueror as well, so at the point where you have Inferno Trigger, you also have the Conqueror fully stacked, and those two things combined with each other are so lethal that it's absolutely terrifying. Now, Chubby Baby's White are able to turn back onto the Baron. They might do it a little bit slowly, but it doesn't matter because Barack Obama doesn't need to zone. There's nobody there. The TP coming through from Catsall, he still has Chaos Storm. Necro still has Stormbringer. There could be a fight to be had.
Yeah. Stormbringer used by Necro. Necro's going to be knocked up and silenced by Hooked and Fisted there. CP is coming out from Shadow Pulse, and he's got that zoomies from the TP movement speed. And
but when all said and done, right, they stop the Baron with that. They commit one TP, but they get a TP back in exchange, and the Baron doesn't go down. So Fire stalling the game just a little bit longer means that they're, they still have a way in. As soon as the Baron goes down, the wave clear that Victor provides becomes much weaker and really not the same strength that he is obviously without the Baron. So as long as they can keep stalling away from that, then there's an avenue for Fire to get back in. But this Cloud Soul now going to get probably picked up. Anderson Cooper dashes onto Demonic, but Mori and Kire are there.
Two-man Shockwave is used by Barack Obama. Catapult's going to pick up a kill into Anderson Cooper, but
Reliable.
Yeah, he's just going off in the backline here. Untouched, uses the ultimate, and double kill instantly. And that's going to be an ace.
That's going to be an ace, and it's going to be literally whatever objective they want here. You can see them just walking between the Soul, the Baron, the mid lane. They don't know what they want here, and I think, unfortunately, for me, feels like they're going for probably the worst one here. They're going to go for the middle inhibitor, I feel like, here, and then they're going to probably try and retreat to that Cloud Dragon. Barack Obama already on his way here. Yeah, and just get the tier 2 turret, and then they walk it back toward the Drake here. Hook and Fisted actually waiting just outside the base, and Reliable probably going to stick nearby. That said, they are both going to just get over, secure Cloud Soul for themselves, and this puts the Elder Drake out onto the map. 30-minute Elder is going to be quite terrifying when you're up against Samira and Orianna. Those two alone with a good Shockwave can probably 2 versus 5, and maybe just using the front line, maybe having a Shen stand United might help as well, but at this stage, Inferno Trigger on Reliable, on a Samira more so, is pretty dangerous, because as soon as he casts it, he's just able to go zooming around the entire team, and you get the bonus movement speed from having all of those style points. You have the movement speed from the Cloud Soul activation, and then just the 10% move speed that Cloud Soul gives you as well. This Samira going to be absolutely zooming through team fights.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit too. It might be a little bit too far gone. at this point in the game, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite difficult unless they find a pick. Barack Obama's stunned by the Glacial Prism, but disengage comes through. Lantern going to take Demonic to safety. You know, there's obviously the 1% chance where they consistently manage to hook in Reliable and they keep chain killing him and you know feeding off of that. But Reliable's just been playing so well that he's never given them the opportunity to get that. And even if he did get hooked, the Shen Stand United, the follow up from Anderson Cooper and Hook and Fisted is just so immense that there's no way to reliably try and take down the Samira.
Yeah, and I don't see a way, unfortunately, for Fire to be able to win a team fight now.
No, it definitely doesn't look that way. Hook and Fisted gonna just meme on his mid laner a little bit, try and steal away that blue buff. Is unsuccessful. But now Baron picked up Cloud Soul as well. This is where we want to see Chubby Babies White and how well they can really close out the game, right? They have the Baron in there on their minions, and they're just walking in, right? Fire putting up very little congestion for this mid lane. There's the Cataclysm and the Shockwave used. Don't yield any kills, but they definitely get a mid lane inhibitor, and they're just going to try and walk it up to the top side off of the back of that Shadow Balls now, with the minions at his back, and the level lead as well is able to fight off Necro quite handily. That's 2 inhibitors down. Hook hits a minion, not the target that Kiri is looking for. Hook and Fisted with the Righteous Glory doesn't find the engage. But now 2 sets of Baron waves coming through, and looks like Chubby Babies don't even want the 3rd inhibitor. They can just start sieging Nexus.
They could just stand here and let the minions take it, really. Hook just come out to Anderson Cooper. Engage coming out from Sejuani here. Sejuani getting that silence, unable to use the ultimate just yet. Ultimate is available. She's going to throw it over the top. No, she's not. It's too late. Samira gets into the backline, has that S rank, and is just going to kill everything with the stop point. Quadra kill.
The Inferno trigger is absolutely huge, taking down everybody from Omega Gaming. Fire, that is going to be the series, and unfortunately the end of Fire's run in the Blue Otter Plat League. A really well played series though.
I believe so, that's the end. I'm not too sure. I could be wrong. I don't have all the answers on how the playoffs the qualification works, but that does end the regular season.
Yeah, I too am not 100% on that, and apologies if I am debating people. But they were coming in 3rd to this. They were 3rd in their league, coming through to the final game, and with that loss, I don't think they'll net any more points than 2nd place. So it's a pretty unlikely that they'll come through in 2nd place. Maybe there's a way that 3rd place breaks go through, but we'll have to wait and see.
Indeed, indeed. Checking these damage charts.
Samira, fine, balanced champion.
Yeah. Samira just kind of took over the game.
I need to pick that champion up.
Samira, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's huge. Samira just... but nonetheless, thank you all for tuning in. I really don't have anything else to add unless you have something to add, Rooted.
No, be sure to check me and Ivor out on Twitter, obviously at Rooted1, at Ivor. What's your Twitter?
I don't need my Twitter plugged. It's
You
okay. You know what?
just
Follow
the Omega Gaming Twitter.
Omega Gaming Twitter, the Twitch, and everything. Nothing but love for everybody for tuning in. GG's to Chubby Babies White. We will be back tomorrow with Omega Gaming Silence in Risen Divine League, the D1 Cap League. They're looking to improve to 4-1 on that series. And yeah, thank you all. We're probably going to send everybody on a raid to another tournament game probably going on. Maybe we'll go to Blue Otter, but I'm not too sure yet. But enjoy the rest of your night, everybody, and stay hydrated, gamers.